Hi, Phil with Diode Dynamics. We're in the studio today to show you the installation procedure for our new plug-and-play sequential LED turn signals for the 2015 to 2017 Ford Mustang. Installation only requires a couple of basic tools to remove the belly pan and loosen the fender liner, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and get started by removing the two pop rivets in the fender liner using either a flathead screwdriver or a trim removal tool if you happen to have one. This is simply to access the two bolts that are located on the back side of the fog light bezel when we go to remove the housing. Once you've got these removed, go ahead and repeat the process on the other side to complete this portion. Now that you have the rivets and the fenders removed, we'll move on to dropping the belly pan. Now unfortunately with the angle here, I can't get you a good shot, but what you're going to do is remove 12 7mm screws along the outside edge, with 4 more in the belly pan itself, and 6 total pop rivets along the outside edge to drop the pan. Now that you have the belly pan dropped and the fenders loose, we're able to start on the bezel itself. Now we went ahead and removed the fender liner to get a better shot for you, but you don't need to do that for your installation. To begin with, we'll start by disconnecting the stock wiring. We'll start up here with the turn signal by depressing and pulling straight back. It can be a little tight, so take your time. Then we'll do the fog light and the side marker. Go ahead and tuck the wiring up out of the way so we can get started on the bolts. Now that we have the wiring removed and out of the way, we're going to start by removing the 6 bolts around the perimeter of the fog light bezel. We'll simply use our 7mm socket to get going on these guys. Now that we have all the bolts removed, we'll simply press outward on these forward tabs to separate the bezel from the bumper. Simply work it loose in order to remove the entire housing and pull it out of the car. With your bezel removed, you'll use the same 7mm socket to remove the 3 bolts holding the housing in place. Now that you have your housing out, we can go ahead and start with our replacement with the Diode Dynamics piece. But first you'll want to remove the socket for the parking light located next to the turn signal bulb. The reason we remove the stock parking light socket is because this is going to be used to house your turn signal setting switch. Simply insert the setting switch into the socket, and this will allow us to reseal the turn signal housing. With our parking light socket installed, we'll go ahead and install our housing into the bezel. You'll simply want to feed the wiring through the big opening and then line up the holes to reinstall the screws. Then we'll just need to tighten everything down using your 7mm socket. Now we can return the assembly back to the bumper. Now we'll simply want to reinstall the bezel, starting with the innermost tabs and making sure that they snap into place. You can press on the outside of the bumper as well in order to make sure that they're secure, and then line up all of your holes. Now we can start adding our screws back into the bezel to secure everything into place. Now use your 7mm socket to go ahead and start tightening down your screws. Now that you have your bezel secure and all the screws are tight, you can go ahead and rewire your system. You'll simply want to take your stock turn signal connector and plug it directly into our housing. Reconnect your parking light and your fog light. This will complete your basic wiring. If you've chosen to go with the optional Drl harness, we'll cover that here in just a second. To install your Drl harness, we'll need to disconnect the main headlight plug from the back side of the housing. Simply depress and pull it straight back. Then you'll connect our Drl harness to the main headlight connector, and then plug our harness into the headlight housing. You'll then take your spade connections and plug these together to complete this circuit. You can repeat this process on the other side to complete this installation. We hope this video was helpful in getting your sequential LED turn signals up and running. For more information on this product, visit us at diodedynamics.com or use our dealer locator to find a dealer near you. Thanks for watching.